Hey guys, nice to see you all again, and if you're joining this video like you have my other ones, bless you for always watching my videos. I really appreciate it. Following my last video where I talked about manifesting and how toxic spirituality really fucks up manifesting for a lot of us, especially those of us who deal with mental health issues, I was quite shocked at how well the video did. Not so much in terms of views, but more just the people who did watch it, they really vibed with it. They really felt like what I talked about was good to talk about, and they understood where I was coming from. And that was just really nice, because I was really worried when I made that video that people weren't really going to vibe with it, and it was gonna ruffle a few feathers, and some people were gonna be a bit like, why are you talking like that? But no, that wasn't the case at all. People really liked the video and they really resonated with it, and that's all I want to do with these videos, is just have an open discussion about spirituality, witchcraft, mysticism, all of it from a place of honesty rather than just to cater to whatever's going on the internet. So today I'm going to be talking about tarot cards, but very, very specifically one card. And the card that I'm going to be talking about also happens to be my favourite of the tarot cards, my absolute favourite of all of the 78 of the standard deck, and that card is Death. So Death, this is what I mean. I know a lot of people who might just see this straight off the bat might be a bit like, ooh, no thank you, but the whole point of this video is to sort of help eradicate the stigma of the Death card. The Death card is actually a really, really beautiful card, and what it symbolises and represents might not be what beginner tarot readers or people who just hear about tarot, it might not be what you think it means. So I'm sure that a lot of you, when you see the Death tarot card, I mean, let's look at it. It's a guy in a suit of armour, a literal skeleton. It's a literal skeleton riding a white horse. A rider riding a pale white horse, that was really hard to say, is a stereotypical representation of death. And lots of people, when they see this card, automatically assume it means that, you're gonna die. No, it's not the case at all. It very rarely connotes actual physical death. It does represent death, but again, not in the way that you might think. So lots of people look at Death as a tarot card as being quite a negative card. It's one of the worst cards to pull. No, that's not true at all. Whenever I pull Death, I actually feel such a lovely, beautiful feeling here and in my stomach, in my gut. I just feel all warm. I feel my heart just aligns. I feel really good when I pull the Death card. And the reason that I feel good when I pull the Death card is because I know better interpretation. It is important to note, with all tarot cards, it's all about interpretation. Yes, they all do have set meanings, but one of the things I love about tarot is although they have set meanings, it's really down to the interpreter. I'm going to be telling you about my interpretation of Death, the card, and why I feel like it's such a positive card, and it's one of the better cards that you can pull. Going back to how people think if you pull Death, it means you're gonna die. That's not the case. If you pull Death in a tarot reading, we'll use just single pull daily cards sort of thing for this, because it's just easier than explaining it in a spread. If you pull the Death card in a tarot reading, it usually just means that you're about to start a new cycle. It is, ironically, a symbol of rebirth, and it is a symbol of starting a new chapter. As a card, Death is extremely misunderstood, and this is why I want to talk about it, because it's a fucking great card. When you pull a Death tarot card, it usually means that there's a phase or a chapter in your life that's about to end or close. Maybe you've just left a job and you're about to start a new one. A relationship has ended or a friendship has ended, and you're moving on to the next phase after post-friendship or relationship. Maybe you're moving house. Maybe you're moving country. Maybe you're just in a different mindset to what you were before you pulled that card, and you're in a current situation where you're ending a certain mindset and you're going into a new one. So when you pull the tarot card Death, it's actually a really good sign things are going to change. Now, it's quite interesting that Death would be my personal favourite tarot card, because I hate change. I like things when they stay completely normal, completely uniform. I like knowing what's going to happen. And change scares me, as it scares most people. It's completely normal to be scared of change. When I pull the death card though, it gives me a sort of reassuring feeling that everything's going to be okay. Granted, not all form of change is good. Like, it could mean that you're going to have a bad change happening. The way that death works as a card is the change is like gradual. It's not going to be a snap change. There's a different card for that, which I'll be talking about ever so slightly towards the end of this video, just to show you the difference between death and a quote-unquote bad card. That's another important thing to know. No card is actually bad. Like, there's no negative cards. They might have negative connotations, but it's how you interpret it and how you want to deal with it. If you just assume, oh, I'm going to die, then you're not going to have a good time experiencing the cards. It never means you're going to die, it just means that something's going to change. So the change will be gradual. It won't all be in one snap go. You won't have to be like, whoop, the ground's falling beneath my feet. No, none of that. The change will happen gradually and you'll sort of see it happening. And if you've pulled the death card in a reading, you might be a bit more like, this makes sense. I had that reading, now I'm seeing the gradual change. You'll be more open to the change that's going on around you and you'll be more welcoming to it. It's important to know that you're going through a period of transformation. It is a hugely transformative card, which is why it's such a beautiful card. The old you is going through a period of death. You are going through a form of death, but death isn't as cut and dry as you're going to die. Death can quite literally just symbolize that a part of you or a part of your life is coming to an end. But that doesn't always mean death. I'm going to keep repeating this because I think people need to know that death doesn't always mean you're going to die. It just means a phase of you is coming to an end. Like in a lot of TV shows, and even some shows I like, if like tarot cards are brought into it, like I don't know if you've noticed the cliche of like in these shows, like someone will pull the death card and then it's always connoted with, oh, that person's going to die or they're going to experience death or someone around them is going to die. And it really annoys me. Like, it really, really annoys me that that's always what the interpretation is in these TV shows. It's not educating people to what tarot's really like. Most cards are about transformation and change, but death really like brings it home that you're going through a transformative time and a period of your life, an aspect of your life, a relationship, a way of thinking is coming to an end. So you embrace the casual change, and the change will be gradual enough that you can deal with it. It's not going to be one that's going to like throw your life into disarray. It's not going to make you like really, oh my god, why is this happening to me? I'm stressed, I can't deal with it. It's not going to make you feel like that. You're going to see it coming, you're going to watch it change gradually, and you're going to be like, I've got this. It is important though, noting that it is about change and a gradual change, that if you do pull the death card in a reading, the change is coming, and if you resist it, then things are going to get hard for you. The death card is really telling you to embrace the change, to flow with the change, to grow with the change. Which, you know, accepting any change, no matter how quick, no matter how slow it is, it's hard, especially if you're used to something and you're comfortable. Humans thrive in their comfort zone. We don't want to like leave our comfort zone at all. It's difficult to accept the changes coming, but death comes as a reminder that this gradual change is coming and you need to accept it. Now, that's not as harsh as saying, oh, this change is coming, you must accept it or else. It's not a warning. Well, it is a warning, but it's not a horrible warning. It's basically just telling you, you need to embrace this change, you need to go with it, don't resist it, because if you resist it, it'll make things harder for you. Other things the death card can symbolise is your need to let go. It's telling you you need to let go of old habits, old thought patterns, old relationships, anything that's not serving you or helping you towards this change, you need to let go of. That's easier said than done, but I think having that gentle reminder from the card is really helpful. This is what I mean though. The death card is just such a beautiful card, and I hate the stigma that comes with it, where everyone thinks it's a really evil card and it's a really dark card. My whole thing is balance of light and dark, and I think the death card as a tarot card is the perfect example of balance. There's both positive and negative to this card, and you need to embrace it. So going back to that card I said I was going to mention earlier, because I think it's important now for me to mention a little bit about a card that is more associated more commonly with negative things, or like harsher truths and harsher actions. I can see some of you shuddering already. The Tower. Whenever I pull the Tower, I'm not gonna lie, I recoil a bit. It does make me think, oh no. But I think it's important to remember with all the cards, then None of them are inherently negative or positive. Some are more positive, some are more negative. But it is important for you to know that they're not inherently there to be like, your life's going to be shit. They're there to help you transition through things, and they're there to help you see things from an outer perspective. Like I always say to my friends when I'm talking about tarot cards, they're brutally honest. Tarot cards are like that friend that you have who's really outspoken and will just tell it like it is. But I also think having the cards to do that instead of like an actual human being makes you listen to the truth a bit better. So that's why I consider tarot cards as like, you know, I consider them as friends. I think they're friends. They're friends who are going to be honest with you. They're going to give you tough love. So going back to the Tower, there it is, that bad boy. The Tower, if you pull it in a card, is asking you to look at a change in a more immediate action. So it usually connotes to sudden change and upheaval. So whereas the Death card is telling you that you're about to go through a change or a rebirth, and it's going to be gradual and it's going to be sort of smooth, like not necessarily smooth sailing, but the waves are going to be quite calm. They'll be a little bit rocky, but you'll be able to get through it without much emotional distress. The Tower, on the other hand, is saying that the ground's about to be pulled from your feet. You're about to go through a change that you may necessarily not see coming. The change could be really, really out of nowhere, like out of left field. Like you could have been like living life real chill, and then all of a sudden, whoops, something happened. And that's the Tower coming in to tell you that the change is going to be pretty abrupt. The Tower, though, also will come up in a reading depending on how you're feeling about change, because if you have a fear of change, that's another meaning of the Tower. It really represents fear of change as well. And when they refer to a sudden change that you're not expecting, it could be anything. It could be a death, it could be a divorce, it could be loss of finance, it could be anything. But again, it's not inherently good or evil or positive or negative. It depends what you make of it. Tarot cards do come as a bit of a warning, but it's more like, sis, you need to listen to like what we're saying so you can like actually deal with your shit. It's not like saying, warning, you're going to die, the future is barred. Like, no, it's giving you a friendly warning so you can be prepared for this shit. When the Tower pops up, you can't escape the change. Like with death, it's not so much you can escape the change with death, but you'll be able to deal with it better because it'll be so gradual. You'll see it coming. Whereas with the Tower, you won't see it coming. It'll just happen. You can't avoid it, and it'll be in a way that you really don't expect. So that's an example of two cards that are pretty similar, but how one, the Tower, can come across harsher, and how the other one, Death, is actually like really gentle. In fairness though, when you look at the Tower, it's a literal tower on fire. There are people falling from the tower. There's lightning bolts in the sky. It's not a great visual representation of great things, is it? But the Tower isn't as well known to people as Death. Like, people just attach the word death to end of life, which that's completely natural for most part. That's all that death is, just like from a surface level view. But in tarot, death is actually a really good thing. Yeah, that's just the whole point of this video. I really wanted to help make the stigma of the Death cards a bit nicer, because I absolutely love this card. This is like my favourite card. I love to draw it. I love to just look at it. It should be noted, I'm a bit morbid. I love the like aesthetic of death, and when I say the aesthetic of death, I just mean like I myself am a bit like emo or gothic. I like dark things like horror and skulls and bones and dead things. I've always just been like into stuff like that anyway, but like I've always looked at like death and like, a skeleton wearing a hood. I just always liked the whole Grim Reaper aspect of death. I've always been into it like that. So maybe I'm being a bit biased in that sense. Who knows? But I do think that people need to know that the Death card is actually a beautiful card. It's telling you change is coming, and you're going to be able to deal with it, and you're going to see it coming. So if you're going to see it coming, you can prepare. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and it was nice to have an open discussion about death. One more note about the Tower though, just while we're still here. Don't freak out if the Tower pops up in a reading. Like, you can freak out, but like, don't think that the world's about to end. Don't feel like your life is in danger. As with any reading in tarot, it's all open to interpretation, and it's about how you deal with it. That's why tarot's not necessarily for everybody, because some people can get quite obsessive with the whole you're going to die thing, and that's very, very rarely the case at all. Unless you ask for like a death reading or something to do with death, the likelihood that the cards are going to tell you about death, like in that sense, is very, very slim. But yeah, I hope that this video has helped you learn a little bit more about the tarot card Death. It is my favourite card, which I keep saying, and I'm going to keep saying. But I just really wanted people to know that it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful card, and not to fret if you get it in a reading. It doesn't mean you're going to die. I hope you all have a lovely day. I'm going to be posting another video either in the next couple of days or next week. Haven't decided yet, but I've got a whole list of stuff that I'm ready to talk about, and I'm ready to make this channel way more active than it has been. The meditation video was just the start. I am in no way an expert tarot reader though. I'm quite novice still, even though I've been using tarot cards for about 5 to 6 years actively. I do struggle to remember the meanings, so I wouldn't call myself an expert. I have done readings for people and I really enjoy it. I've done multiple readings for myself as well. I just want to help people learn more about this stuff. Most of witchcraft and most of the mystical things that we do in our past to the average person has been associated with evil. And I'm not on that vibe. Not on that vibe, and I'm here to tell you the truth about things. So yeah, I hope you have a lovely day. Thank you for watching this video if you did. And I hope the next time you have a reading, if you get death, you feel good about it. Blessed be, my lovelies. I will see you all very soon.